I'd always wanted to be a writer ever since I was a little kid. I'm a farmer's daughter. I grew up in the middle of nowhere. There wasn't a lot of stuff to do. And so we didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have a lot of toys. We didn't have like a video game. Ataris existed, but you know, like that's it. And we didn't have those things. And so I had to entertain myself. And I did that by playing and, you know, taking soldiers and putting them in a battle, or a cat got hit on the road and someone saves it. You know, I was just telling stories in my head all the time. And I latched onto that. And as I got older, I realized that I was writing. I was just doing it in my head, but I was writing. And I would read a book, and if I didn't like the way it ended, I would change the ending. I would write a new ending. Or if there was a character, like a side character that I liked more than the main character, I would do like a spin-off story about them. And I realized that I was writing. And then as I got older, I did start writing things down. And when I was in college, I started looking into getting published, which is very, very difficult. You have to have a literary agent. I won't get into all that, but it took me 10 years to get a literary agent. And so I was writing the whole time, just hitting my head against a brick wall, and kept trying and kept trying and kept trying until they let me in. When I was your age, it was like the early 90s. And there weren't a lot of books showing girls doing cool things. There were some, but very few. All of the books that had female protagonists were like, you know, The Babysitter's Club and things like that. And I didn't see girls doing the things that I did. So it's like I wanted to climb trees and, you know, build mud forts and like all these things. And the literature was telling me that's not okay for a girl. The other thing is it's like emotions were never like really dealt with very well. Girls were not allowed to be mad. Being mad was just like not part of the story. And so I write books for teenagers that are the books I wanted to read when I was your age, and they just didn't really exist yet. I never know what's going to happen in any of my books. I just start writing and I see what happens. So that is my process. There's really no process. I just write. It's more interesting for me that way. If I have an outline or a planned out book, it's just not as fun for me because I already know what's going to happen. So I just let things unspool as I'm writing, and I find that to be a little more organic and interesting. Oh, How Girls Are Made. Yeah, so that comes out in November. It's not out yet. But that book is very much about something that I see in teenagers, especially girls these days. I used to work in high school. I also have 2 daughters. They are older now, but they were teenagers. And there are 3 different things that I see young women really struggling with, and I had 3 different characters kind of represent those things. One of them is perfectionism, just always trying to make sure, people pleasing, making sure that everybody's happy, nobody's mad at me, I'm getting everything done, I'm doing it right, I'm okay, I'm only okay if everything is right. The second one is emotional abuse. People know what physical abuse is. They know what that looks like. It's really easy to identify and easy to even like prosecute, in the sense that, you know, you have bruises or a broken arm or whatever that is. But emotional abuse is different. Emotional abuse is somebody just like really taking away your confidence, or undermining you in a lot of ways, and just kind of making you feel like you have to walk on eggshells all the time around them, but also giving this person like a lot of attention and a lot of love at first. It's called love bombing. And then the person who's being emotionally abused is like always chasing that feeling. It's like an addiction, and they just keep pulling the affection back a little more and a little more. And it's really, really damaging to people psychologically and emotionally. And the third thing is social media. I really hate social media, and I think that it is hurting all of us. Young people, older people, everyone, but especially girls. And there's so much online of, you know, beautiful women doing beautiful things, and a lot of distractions, and I think there's a lot of comparison that goes on. And you look at Instagram and you see somebody who's just perfect, and you're like, I don't look like that, and it feels bad. So I took those 3 different things and I made each of them into like a character. And these 3 girls are coming together. They're meeting in a sex ed class. They discovered that their school has not like taught them much. They don't have sex ed. And so they develop an underground, off-campus, student-led sex ed, where they're just like talking about things and asking each other questions. And this, of course, is kind of a problem for some people. They're trying to keep it quiet. The book starts with a funeral, and you know that one of the girls is dead, but you don't know which one until you get to the end, and each of their separate narratives puts them on a path that does put them in physical danger.